Hello and welcome to the shiny Swinub run. Shiny just because it was the first shiny I ever encountered on this channel, so it's kind of just a homage to that. No reason why, but you guys are asking for it in the comments, so yeah, we are doing a shiny Swinub run. But considering how my knowledge of the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, I didn't manage to figure it out by doing it that way, by having the starter Pokemon as a shiny. So we are going to have to hack it in, and from there we will need to catch it in the wild before actually starting on our quest. But until we do that, let's have a look at Swinub, whatever it is. Let's have a look at its base stats. It's got a total of 250, which you kind of expect from a first stage evolution. 50 HP, 50 attack, 50 speed. That's the best we're going to get in them. 40 defense and 13 special attack and special defense. You can see the cheat working there, so we can see that Shiny Swinub has appeared in the wild. But because of the cheat, I also can't run from the battle, so we have to kill this one. Paying another homage to the Azumarill run where we had to kill it because I ran out of Pokeballs. But yeah, if for some reason the cheat wouldn't let me to actually, well, the Game Shark code wouldn't actually let me run away from the fight. So Swinub here has to just destroy its discolored brethren. Oh, that could get me banned off YouTube, that comment alone. Anyway, let's look at the moveset. We start off with Tackle, and we don't get another move until level 10 where we get Powder Snow. But Ice type moves in the very early game of Johto is actually really, really good. Think about it. We've got Falconer to start off with, then we've got Bugsy. Even the rivals Pokemon, which we're going to set as Quilava, we're going to get Mudslap from Falconer to deal with that. To be fair, any of the starter Pokemon, Totodile probably would be the hardest one to deal with, but we've actually gone for Cyndaquil. You can see the Game Shark code there, still listing this Pokemon as a Swinub. Anyway, once we've beaten the rival here, thanks to the berries, we can then progress back over to New Bark Town and pick up, well, we can name our rival for today, which is going to be Sam Mead. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the channel. I know it's been a while since you subscribed, but either way, finally got around to your turn being the rival. And on the Shiny Swinub run as well, so lucky you. Yeah, we don't really get too many good moves leveling up. We get Blizzard level 46, but why level up to that when we can actually get it in Goldenrod City? Other than that though, TM move-wise, we're really limited. We really are limited. Here we are. This is going to be our Swinub for the run. We finally got some Pokeballs after completing that very initial tutorial side quest. And you know what, we're going to give it a unique nickname for once. We're going to call it Swinub, because I'm inventive. Please like and subscribe. You know you guys want to see more of these jokes, and I need someone to laugh at them. Either way, now we've got Swinub on our team, we can progress on with this run. But level 2 starting off is incredibly difficult because for some reason every other Pokemon does a lot more damage than we do right at this stage. We barely make it through this very first fight with another Shiny Swinub, and now we turn the cheats off and we can progress on with this run. But yeah, Shiny Swinub there, and honestly, I adore this colour scheme for this Pokemon. Like, the blue, the dark brown on it, the pink nose, and even like on the sprite where it's got the little tinges of pink on its back. This is honestly a very cool shiny, and I'm not usually one for shiny Pokemon, and yeah, we just got beaten by a Caterpie. So the best way to do this is when you start off at level 2, especially in Johto, go and find Metapods and level up against them, because all they know at this point is Harden. Might as well go and get your experience there where they can't actually fight back until they get rid of all of their Hardened PP. We can take them down with Tackle, but you know what, we'll go further on. At level 11 we're going through Sprout Tower. We have also picked up Powder Snow at level 10. And that is going to be the only move we will need to take on the first gym. We pick up the HM for Flash, and then we progress down using the Escape Rope. Because we're going to go straight for Falconer, because with Powder Snow on our moveset, we're just going to sweep through this gym completely. We even get a freeze there. I wonder how many freezes we'll get this run. And yeah, there's not many Pokemon that can stand up to a Swinub with Powder Snow. Let's see how Falconer does though. Falconer, of course, got level 7 Pidgey, and his level 9 Pidgeotto, which go down incredibly quickly to Powder Snow. Like I said, Ice type's really good in the early game of Johto. That's one bit gym badge down, and we progress on to Azalea Town. There's not much of a problem in the next coming route, so we will teach Mud Slap and we will head straight to Azalea. In Azalea, of course, we've got to contend with the Rocket side quest. Now, with Mud Slap on our moveset, it does make it kind of easy, but Mud Slap is really quite a weak move at 20 power. But once we have beaten that guy, we're going to go straight for Bugsy and just sweep through every single trainer in his gym. And yes, I am going against every trainer here. Generally in Johto, I don't try and do it as quick as I can with the first stage evolution Pokemon, just because it's a big level, it's a big disparity of how difficult it is compared to Gen 1 where you can sweep through. If you decide to use the badge boost glitch in Gen 1, of course it makes it even easier, but we don't do that on this channel. Just to reference as well, all of my Johto runs are done without held items. In a recent video, my Shuckle video, I've received a comment where they picked up that it looked like the Shuckle had actually went first before a Blastoise even at level 100. Yeah, Shuckle cannot outspeed it even at level 100. So pretty much what happened there, it was bad editing on my part. I'm just going to address it now. That was bad editing on my part, and I'll endeavour to do better on future. Like I said, when I was recording and doing the editing for a lot of them, I was working back in Newcastle and travelling quite a lot, freelance work on the side. So I was very, very tired, and that is the honest to God reason why I would have cut corners at the time. Sorry about it, but video's out there now. But Shuckle did genuinely do it even without a Quick Claw and a held item. As you can see there, we just completely swept through Bugsy. It was not even really worth talking about. The Cypher barely got time to set up a Fury Cutter. But now comes a bigger challenge, and that of course is the rival Sandmead in Azalea Town. Azalea Town is always, as I keep professing, probably the hardest rival fight in the entire game. After this point, it gets incredibly easy, but this point in the game, level 16 starter and 2 other Pokemon, it's a really hard fight because there's not much experience to gain up until this point in the game. But with Powder Snow, we can sweep through most of his Pokemon, but even at level 19, we only get out of that fight with 4 HP. Progressing on to Goldenrod, we are going to go against as many of the trainers here just before Goldenrod as well, just because we're going to need that experience, considering the next trainer that is up, and that of course is going to be Whitney and her Miltank. And here's something I haven't spoke about with Swinub yet. The Ice Ground typing is kind of awful. You're weak to the likes of grass, you're weak to the likes of fire, water. So many types. Fighting, of course, as well. Steel. We're weak to so many types with this typing. Honestly, it's amazing that Mamoswine is such a good Pokemon in later generations, but Piloswine, Swinub in this generation, I don't feel like this is the right time to introduce a nice ground type. I mean, we can't even learn Dig. A ground type that can't learn Dig. Kind of mind-boggling, either way. Let's see how we do against Whitney. Whitney's up first with her Clefairy, and we've gone to the extremes of going to get Blizzard early. Yes, we have lost a lot of time in the game corner doing that, but we need Blizzard because it is just a powerful move. 3 times as effective as Powder Snow, but that trade-off is 30% less accuracy. When it does work in our favour though, we can freeze. If we hadn't have frozen, we wouldn't have won this fight even at level 25. So the freeze really mattered here. We pick up the Flame Badge, that's number 3, and we're going to head straight over to Ecruteak City because we want to go against Morty. Before we go against Morty though, we also want to pick up the HM for Surf, and that means going against the Kimono Girls. Now with Headbutt on our moveset, this gives us a great move to use so we can actually deal out consistent damage. Headbutt is a great move in my opinion in this generation just because of the flinch chance of it, and also at 70 base power, you get it quite early on in the game. Apart from Return, I would say Headbutt is probably one of my favourite moves in this generation for TM pickups. It's kind of like my Gen 1 Body Slam, which you get before the 3rd gym. We actually do lose against the Vaporeon here, because as I said, we are weak to Water-type moves. But let's see how we do against Morty, the Ghost-type trainer. With Mud Slap's our only Ground-type move. So Morty has got 4 Pokemon, all from the exact same line, and not a single Johto Ghost-type in his roster. Missed a trick, Game Freak. You really missed a trick there. And, wow, the fight's over already. Let's So pretty much the way to win this fight, you need to hit Blizzard pretty much every single time. Mudslap can't take out any of the Pokemon even at level 28. Probably could take out the Ghastly, but the level 23 Haunter takes 3 Mudslaps to get taken down. Gengar, on the other hand, as soon as it puts you to sleep, that's the match over. That's 2 attempts against Morty here, and genuinely, probably about 10 attempts in all honesty it took to do this at this level. I'm only showing you 3 here just because I don't want you to get bored just looking at a Morty fight, but yeah, it took us at least about 10 tries to beat him. And that all came down to the fact that he didn't put us to sleep on this one. We're at 7 HP going into this final Pokemon, and we finally get the Fog Badge. But my god, as soon as you get put to sleep with Morty, that's pretty much it. They will just dreamy to you all over. Let's see how we do against Sandmead over in the Burn Tower, of course, and we get cursed straight away because that is just RetroBrown luck on this channel. Every single status effect, every single curse that could happen, always happens to us here on this channel, and you love to see it sometimes. But Swinub just shines through here. Because we take him out in one hit, curse damage doesn't actually hit us, so we can actually get through his last 2 Pokemon. But we also don't do well in the Lighthouse. We're weak to fighting type Pokemon, and we're weak to water type Pokemon. We're weak to grass, we're weak to fire. There are so many types that we are weak to. And I'm pretty sure, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure we are also weak to the Ice type because of the ground. There are so many weaknesses this Pokemon has, and Johto is just not built for this Pokemon. We're going against the Fighting Gym next, and you know what? It's not even Chuck that we need to worry about. We need to worry about his trainers. The very first challenge you've got in this gym, of course, is the Dojo Brothers here. You've got Yuri, and then you've got the other guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But yeah, Hitmonlee, 1 jump kick is a 1-shot. You have to go level 32 where you just have enough speed to outspeed him, and only then you've got to hope that his jump kick misses. Hitmonchan, not a problem whatsoever. It's going to use its elemental punches, which, strangely enough, not going to be a problem. And actually, you know what? Looking at that fight there with Ice Punch, it doesn't look like we actually are weak to ice, so that's a good thing. It might be neutral, I couldn't remember off the top of my head there. Either way, that brings another challenge, and that, for once, it's actually Black Belt Nob. Named after Nob, like the translator for this game from Japan. Like, yeah, his team there just absolutely wiped us. That's enough about his trainers. Let's see how we do against Chuck himself. Shiny Swinub is out, and basically the way you got to win this, you've got to hit Blizzard twice on that Primeape, and then on Poliwrath you got to hope to God that he doesn't hit with Dynamic Punch, because that is a 1-shot. You've got to make your headbutts count here with the flinching chance. And considering it's not going to be great to work with here, considering it's not going to flinch him every single time, a couple of Mud Slaps always will help there. 2 attempts you've seen here, but that in reality took about 7 or 8 attempts. This is not a great Pokemon to do a solo run with, but it's a shiny Pokemon, so why not? That brings us back over to Olivine City, where we're going to go straight against Jasmine, and with Blizzard this could work in our favour. I mean, the Mud Slap should take out the Magnemites in 1, but that Steelix is going to be strong. Because there's another weakness. We're weak to the Steel type. Oh my god, this Pokemon's got so many weaknesses, and Mud Slap doesn't even take him out in 1 at level 35. Yeah. Even without being super effective, that would have taken us out in 1. So we go up to level 41 of all things. Yes, we're already going up to level 40 just to take out some of the gym leaders. And even then, level 41, we can't even tank 1 Iron Tail. So this is a bad situation to be in. But on a 3rd attempt at level 41, I got lucky. Iron Tail decided it just didn't want to miss because it only has 75% accuracy. And as soon as we got through that Steelix, the rest of the fight was so easy. But we can't learn Iron Tail, so wasted TM. It's going back into the bank. That brings us up to the Lake of Rage, which of course starts off the Rocket Side Quest, my most unliked part of the entire Johto game, but this is part of the game. We will speed through this as much as we can. We start talking to Lance and then head back to Mahogany Town, where he hyper beams someone in the face, his trademark appearance. Yeah. that brings us to the Rocket Executives right at the end, and of course, with the Johto level curve, this is not going to be a problem for us whatsoever. We're already at level 43, and then we're 20 levels above her entire team. We'll Blizzard our way through this, taking down the Murkrow with a final Blizzard. And then we go kill some Electros, because that is apparently what the game wants us to do. After that, though, we need to head straight over to Price's gym, because now it is Swinub versus its predecessor. Price thinks he's the best Ice-type gym leader in this region? Nah, we are the best Ice-type trainer in this region. So let's go destroy his team. Mud Slap is decent for lowering their accuracy, Headbutt to just getting the flinch, and as soon as that pile of swine comes out, we're going to go for the Blizzard, which is a one-shot with a crit. That was a first-time win, and Swinub wants to evolve, but no. It's staying as our beautiful blue shiny boy. And from here, let's go to the Rocket side quest again. That means we need to go against Sam Mead on the Underground. And his team here is still decently tough. And especially when that Quilava comes out as well, if that Flame Wheel had hit us, we probably would have lost it there. Mud Slaps will just tear through a lot of his team, especially the Haunter as well, who doesn't go for Curse, which would have been worse as well. But decent challenge, but we still managed to do it pretty comfortably. I just realised I'm probably the first person on the internet to say our beautiful blue Swinub boy, aren't I? This is a weird video and weird audio. I wish I actually did scripts when I do this, but no, I just talk off the top of my head as I'm talking through this video. We beat the Rocket side quest pretty comfortably. Well, pretty comfortably. We had a few bits of HP left. But that brings us to the 8th gym, and you would have thought here we would have a good time here being an Ice type. But no. The ground type is going to be our bane. Claire starts off with a Dragonairs, and we've gone up to level 55 here. We taught ourselves Icy Wind to have a better hitting, well, more accurate Ice type move to hit with, but no. Surf just does tons of damage. Considering we've got very low special defense, one Surf is enough to pretty much take us out. The way you get through this fight, you need to hit Blizzard every single time. And you can see that this is attempt 3, we're level 58 now. Blizzard has to hit twice on Kingdra because it's not resisted, it's neutral because of the water typing it has. But the Dragonairs will go down to just one Blizzard each, but you have to hit every single Blizzard, and Blizzard's only got 70% accuracy. But there we go. That is all 8 gyms completed with just a Swinub, a shiny Swinub, Shinub. And that means we can head off to the Pokemon League, where we can pick up probably the best move that we can pick up on this entire run. Before we go against the rival, we jump down this hole and we pick up TM26, which is of course Earthquake. Finally, we've got a good ground type move to work with. And yeah, again, we found a Pokemon that doesn't learn a single ground type move, or like one of its typing moves, on its level up. But what we also did learn at level 55 was the move Amnesia. Now keep that noted, because that is going to be a great move for later on. And it means I'm also going to have to keep a move slot here, but yeah. Earthquake, yeah. Let's see how we do here, going on to the Pokemon League. So, first up in the Pokemon League is going to be Will. Will is... Actually, you know what? Looking at that, I've just got that wrong. Level 55, we don't learn Amnesia. You only learn that in Crystal version. We're screwed for later. Oh, great. Okay, let's talk about Will anyway. And then we'll go back to why Amnesia would have been key earlier. Later on. Icy Wind, great move for the league, just because even though it's only got, what, 55 power, 95% accuracy, more reliable than using Blizzard. Blizzard we need when we have a pinch. Headbutt, still probably better than Return at this point in the game, because we have lost a lot of fights, meaning our friendship is probably kind of low. But Icy Wind is just tearing through his team, and we get first time win against Will. We're already in the level 60s here, and now we go against Koga. Koga, of course, starts off with Ariados, and this is why we wanted Earthquake, because he's got a lot of poison types that can be just one-shotted with Earthquake. But then comes another problem. Forretress. It's got Protect, and it's got Explosion. And this wasn't just one time this happened. This happened a lot. I was stuck at Koga for a very long time. And no matter what I did, whether it was Blizzard or Earthquake, after a few moves it would just always use Explosion. The only way we could get past him here was by going up to level 63. Just by going up 2 levels, it gave our attack power just enough to 2-shot that Fortress. Because on the first turn he would set up spikes every single time, even though it made no sense to. But after that, Koga was a breeze. An absolute icy wind breeze. Yes, you can dislike the video for that little shit pun. But we beat Koga and progressed on to Bruno, who is going to be a nightmare for us. Pretty much because we're weak to fighting type moves, and in this generation, he actually has some decent fighting type moves. We can take out most of the Pokemon in one shot. Hitmonchan though has Mach Punch, which can just chip away at us, bringing it in the Machamp, who can't get taken out with one Earthquake. Cross Chop is a phenomenal move. It's got a lot of power behind it, and we're weak to ice. And in that move, Cross Chop, was actually the only reason that I managed to beat the Smeagol run. Yeah, go back and watch that video. Cross Chop was the secret move that I pulled out to actually beat Red. And it all came down to a Snorlax. But the way we've beaten Bruno here, we had to rely on putting him into recovery range so we can actually take him out. Let's see how we do against Karen. Karen's up next, and of course, it starts off with Umbreon. Blizzard is out first, and we miss quite a few moves after this. Yeah, we got confused, we got sand attacked. She's a cheater. I can't use these moves. If only you could tell the AI not to use these moves. Either way. Even with 1 HP, we managed to take down the Umbreon, but then get KO'd by the Vileplume. On the other hand though, when luck kind of goes more in your favour to start off with, even if you get confused, 3 headbutts will take down that Umbreon. Next up is the Vileplume, and 1 Blizzard is more than enough there. Houndoom's out next, and we go straight for Earthquake. Yes, we are very over-leveled for this, but this is the only way we can outspeed a lot of these Pokemon. We can even outspeed the Murkrow, who's got decent speed, but 1 Icy Wind gets us the win. But that leaves one more challenge, and that is Lance, the Flying-type champion. Now this is a difficult one. He's got Gyarados, which has got powerful Water-type moves. He's also got Aerodactyl and Charizard, Rock-type Pokemon with Aerodactyl. Yeah, that's another weakness we have. We got a weakness to the Rock-type. And then he's got Dragonites, which near enough outspeed us and have moves like Fire Blast. This is a tough fight. We went up to level 71. And the only way you can get past that Gyarados with 3 headbutts is to actually get one of them as a flinch, because he'll use the other turn to then use Rain Dance. Level 71 also gives us enough speed to work with, so we can one-shot most of the Dragonites with Icy Wind, but that Aerodactyl is going to be an issue. It comes out, and we miss our Blizzard. He goes for Hyper Beam of all things, and we can comfortably tank them, but we run out of Blizzard pretty quickly. We're on 63 HP, we win the league, and it is a tough fight with a Swinub. Swinub, whether you're shining or not, this is not an easy run to do. I do not recommend this so far. It's fun, but it's very tedious. As the credits roll, we start thinking about the post-game, and the biggest challenge we've got to deal with, of course, is going to be, well, first off, it's going to be blue. Like our Swinub. So let's see how we do here. Going against the former champion, we have leveled up as we've gone through Kanto, and we're going into this at level 76. Blizzard one-shots the Pidgeot. It's going to be a 2-shot on the Gyarados, but we get hit by a Hydro Pump. Yeah, 18 levels below us and he still one-shots us with a Hydro Pump. That's how bad our special defense is. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to rely on using Blizzard, misses on most of his moves. He's even set up Rain Dance of all things. We finally get a flinch there and we're just wasting him through his full restores. We go for a Blizzard and it freezes him. Yeah. That's what we had to rely on. We had to rely on a freeze to get through the Gyarados. That means when it comes to the next couple of Pokemon, it's kind of a breeze. Earthquake is a one-shot on Arcanine, but I always forget that he's got a Rhydon. And Icy Wind is not a one-shot. Thankfully, Earthquake was not a one-shot on us. It didn't even take off half our HP. And that wasn't the first attempt. As you can see, it took me quite a few attempts to beat Blue, but what took me the most attempts in the entire run was Red. Let's see how we do here. So we've gone into this at level 77. We don't have Amnesia because that's a Crystal Swinub exclusive. We're working in Pokemon Gold here. But Charizard outspeeds and Flamethrower is a one-shot. So we level up. We go up to level 88. We've put Rest on our moveset. Can we outspeed here? No, we can't. It's still a one-shot. So we go up to level 95. We can outspeed the Pikachu, but can we outspeed the Charizard? Yes, we can. But Flamethrower is still a one-shot, and that's not even a range. We can't even do half damage with return. So we go to level 100. Can we deal enough out here and tank one Flamethrower? Just. But return. Just can't take him out. So I regret to tell you, for the first time in a long time, I've found a Pokemon that cannot solo this game. We had to use Double Team to show that Swinub can actually do this game, but using Double Team breaks the rules for these videos. So Swinub, even though you are a great shade of blue, I'm feeling blue that I'm actually having to do this. This will go down as a fail, but we will count the final time. It just means that it's going to go into that F tier and challenge against the other F tiers that needed to use Double Team. This is unfortunately sometimes what happens, but yeah, breaking that rule set and using Double Team means that Swinub is an F tier Pokemon, which is regrettable. So as you see here, we're going to pat ourselves in front of the tree of shame, as we do whenever we have to use Double Team. But let's see what we finished on. Level 100, Curse, Return, Double Team and Rest. Decent-ish stats. And 8 hours and 3 minutes. It's just the typing that let us down here. So yeah, this is a fail. But let's see what we're going to get on next week's run. First up is Granbull, and we've been a while since we've done the Snubbull run. It's a decent contender. I quite like this Pokemon. Second up is Slugma. That's going to be a tough run. We might have it. If I go for Slugma, we might have 2 Double Team runs in a row. I'm going to go for Slugma though. We don't see it very often in Johto, so let's go for it. Right guys, if you got to this point in the video, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. And we will see you next time for the Slugma run. Take care.